it seems like a lot of people start day trading with around $1,000. So what I want to do in this video is go over the trade I took today. I actually recorded my screen so the whole thing is live, and you'll get to see exactly where I entered, where I exited. And like I said, I was trading with $1,000 portfolio, so you'll be able to see how much can you realistically make with that size portfolio. Plus, hopefully you'll learn a thing or two from watching me trade live. So let's go ahead and go into the live recording and see how much I made today with a $1,000 portfolio. So as I said before, I started with a $1,000 portfolio this morning and I traded the MES, right? So this is the micro ES, basically just does everything the ES does, which is also known as the S&P 500 or SPY if you trade options. I was trading futures. So my rule of thumb, if you're just starting out, is that you should have at least a $200 portfolio for every contract that you trade. Okay, so basically, since I had a $1,000 portfolio, I was able to trade 5 contracts. Now, as we can see on my orders, as you can see, this is today. I bought 5 contracts at 8:49. This is Mountain Standard Time where I live. So I didn't take my first trade until around an hour and 50 minutes of the market actually opening. And if we go inside my Discord here, you can see I posted my pre-market plan, right? So let's go and take a look at the chart right here. So as we can see, we're trading at this 4,000 level. We're in this demand zone that we formed basically last week. So as you can see on my plan, I said the main level is 43.82-ish. This is the bottom of the support range. If we show strength or confirmation buyers anywhere from 43.98 to 43.80, I like to play long, targeting 44.25-ish area. All right, so I got the recording pulled up. So let me go ahead and press play. And we're going to zoom in first for a little bit. So it looks like the market just opened right here. Apologies for the quality. It's a little bad. Next time I'll try to make it better. But anyways, as we can see, the market just opened. We're trading in this demand zone area. And I'm kind of just trying to gauge to see, what we're doing here. So, the main thing I was watching first is I want to get above this 44.05 level and then kind of wait for a pullback. Just because this was a big support area. As we can see yesterday, we had a lot of support on this area. So I knew it could have acted as resistance, as you can see it right here. So I wanted to get above this level first and then have us pull back and then take the trade from there, long targeting this supply zone since we were holding this range, right? So I'm going to go and skip forward. Like I said, I didn't take my first trade until like an hour and 40 minutes into the market open. So kind of just want to give you my thought process throughout the day, and hopefully this is a lesson that you don't have to trade right when the market opens or in the first 30 minutes or even in the first hour if you have the time, right? If you don't see anything that you like, then it's better to not take the trade, right? I'd rather miss a trade than have it go red on me and have a bad trade, right? Basically just not trying to force a trade. So let's go ahead and skip forward. As we can see, we started seeing some buyers right here, I believe. Okay, I'm on the 1 minute chart now. I kind of zoomed in and, this would have been a great entry just because your risk was so low. But again, I just didn't feel as comfortable. I wanted, it would have been a higher probability. Let me move myself. If, like I said, we break this 44.05 first, right, which acted as support, which I was afraid of it acting as resistance, right? So I wanted to see if it would act as resistance or not. So anyways, as we can see, let me just move forward again. We're around 15 minutes into the market open and looks like we're going to start rallying here. So as we can see, we just got to that level, right? That 44.05 and we immediately started rejecting. Okay, so this is what I was kind of watching for, is if we're actually going to reject there or if we're going to, get above it and then pull back and then hopefully give me an entry, right? So let's just keep going a little bit more here. And as we can see, we're kind of just chopping around in this range, consolidating above. Now, again, I didn't want to enter here because, as you can see, we got above this range. Now we're pulling back. For me to enter right here, the pullback just wasn't enough for me. It kind of felt like I was chasing this move up. Plus the VWAP was still kind of lagging. So there wasn't really enough confirmations for me to actually take the trade long, right? So again, I just wanted to wait and, wait for a better opportunity to present itself, basically. Just something with more confirmations, right? Basically, the way I trade is supply and demand, support and resistance. On top of that, I'm looking for multiple confirmations, right? And sometimes that means, just because we're at a resistance doesn't mean I'm going to short, right? I use that level as a gauge to what price is doing. So if we break resistance and then we pull back, chances are that new resistance is going to become support, right? So as the market is, trading throughout the day, you have to adapt to what it's doing. You have to see what it's actually telling you, right? We broke this level. Now it's acting as support. And, from there, you want to see other confirmations to see if you should actually get in long or short, right? So anyways, you guys probably already know a lot of that stuff. So let's go ahead and zoom forward a little bit more. Like I said, did not want to take this because we didn't have enough confirmations for me. So I'm going to go and skip forward. As we can see, we started rallying a lot. And this is where, you'll start to experience some FOMO, right? Fear of missing out, because, the trade is going where you thought it would, but you never got a chance to actually enter, mainly because this pullback, there wasn't enough confirmations, like I said. So this is where, you got to kind of take a step back and realize the market hasn't even been open for an hour yet. I shouldn't be, have FOMO in this trade yet. Like I said, I didn't take my trade until an hour and 49 minutes into the market open. Okay. So again, this is where I'm like, okay, if we pull back to this zone, I'm down to get in. But if not, I'm not going to chase the trade. I'm not going to short it, right? All I can do is stay cash and just wait for my opportunity. So let's go and skip forward a little bit more. So as you can see, we really started rallying, no pullback, no entry for me. Like I said, we had the supply zone at 44.25. So that could have been a short opportunity. Obviously, we didn't get there yet, but that was kind of my target for going long as well. So let's skip forward more. Let's see. We got a little bit of a pullback. Again, risk reward just wasn't worth it. Where am I going to stop out? If I put my stop way down here, and we showed resistance right here, right? That risk reward is horrible. I'm not going to take that trade. I want to wait for a deeper pullback. So let's keep skipping forward. As we can see, okay, I'm a little bit more zoomed in now. Okay, so I just changed to the 5-minute chart, and I'm basically drawing a demand zone that we formed on the 5-minute. So as you can see, I was drawing this from the top of this neckline to the bottom wick. As we can see, after this candle, we had a huge move up, right? So I was basically waiting for price to pull back to this zone. This is where I kind of want to enter. And by the time it pulled back to the zone, VWAP would pretty much be there, right? So it kind of gave me a couple confirmations to get in if we did pull back, just because we had that VWAP there support. So that was my plan, right? I was just waiting for my plan to play out. So now, we just have to see if it plays out. So let's go and skip forward a little bit more. So we got pretty close to the zone, but we didn't. So again, I'm in no position right now. From there, we pretty much formed this little double top. So now this is where I think we'll go ahead and start pulling back. So I'm going to skip forward a little bit more. And as you can see, just out of nowhere, right, when you least expect it, big pullback straight into our zone. And this is where I started getting interested in, getting in long, right? So now we're in my zone, right? Now I'm looking for some confirmations to get in long. Okay, so I'm basically looking at the candlesticks. I'm looking at how we react when we touch VWAP. So VWAP is kind of lined up. That's a good sign. So like I said, I entered at 8:49. Right now you can see the time below. It's like 8:40 or so. So let me skip forward a little bit more. Okay, as we can see, we just broke VWAP. So now I want to see if any buyers step in, right? If they're going to, basically defend this level. So as we can see, that candlestick was a little bullish. We had some wicks up. But again, this is a 1 minute, time frame. I can't, get into a trade just based on 1 minute candle, right? That's not going to tell you much. So kind of just waiting, seeing what happens here. And let's skip forward a little bit more. Again, another move down lower, but it got immediately bought up. So this is where I was like getting pretty close to actually entering the trade, right? So believe I was waiting for this 5-minute candle to close, and that's right where I entered. Okay, so let me skip forward. It should be like 4 more minutes. Okay, so notice how I switched to the 5-minute time frame, and now I'm waiting for this 5-minute candle to close. It's looking like a pretty bullish 5-minute candle. So we got 2 more minutes here. As you can see, I kind of drew a circle. Notice how every time we got into this price, price would wick back up. So this is where I believe I entered right around right here. Okay, let me skip forward a little bit more. All right, as you can see, it's 8:49. I entered right here at 44.03 or 04 or something. Let me go back to my orders. So as you can see, I entered at 8:49. Average fill is 44.04. Okay, so that's where I actually entered. So let's go back now. All right, so now we got a couple confirmations, right? We broke this resistance level. That was a good sign. We pulled back into the zone. We didn't perfectly, reverse here, but we, got just below VWAP. We had a 5-minute reversal candle. And on the 1-minute chart, we also formed a tiny little double bottom, right? So the fact that we're in this little demand zone, right? Support area. We also have a little double bottom pattern. We have the VIX as support. And we also have a reversal 5-minute candle. Okay, so these were all confirmations for me to get in this trade, and not only get in the trade, but stay in the trade, right? So, that's another lesson I want to give you guys, because like I said, this trade actually took a while. It was just more of a choppy day. But as we can see, like my profit target was up in this range, right? This 14, this 12 area. So watch what happens here, right? This is where a lot of people kind of would have got scared. So I'm going to skip forward a little bit and we're going to keep going. Okay. Notice this big pullback, right? This could have scared you out of the trade. Again, I'm just keeping my stop loss below the lows. Not freaking out. This trade is either going to work or it doesn't, right? I'm not going to try to, I'm not going to stress about the trade. So you just got to trust your process. As we can see, what happens here, we form another little double bottom and we start reversing from there. That was a good sign. As you can see, we just broke the level. I'm still in the trade. I didn't trim anything yet. So if we actually go back here, I'm going to go to where my first trim was. Okay, so I trimmed 4 contracts. So that's basically 80% of the position at 44.12.75 at 9:37. Okay, so I didn't trim this for a while. I was in this trade for almost an hour before I trimmed. But that's an hour of work, right? It's not that big of a deal if you're going to make a decent amount of money. So let's go back here. As we can see, so yeah, like I said, my first trim was at 9:37. You can see at the bottom, it's around 9:05 right now. So this is actually pretty annoying because I had a limit order at that 44.12 area. I was kind of showing, where I was going to start taking profits, right where we had this aggressive selling. That's usually where I want to trim. So anyways, check this out. We got literally 20 cents away from my order. Okay. So again, I just had a limit order there. And of course we pulled back. I never got filled. And we ended up drawing down almost all the way back to where I entered. It was like 2 points above. So that was pretty annoying. But again, guys, pullbacks are going to happen during your trade. It's never just going to go straight up or straight down. So again, I was just patiently waiting in my trade. And eventually, buyers stepped back in. And we pulled back again. Okay, we pulled back all the way back to that level again. Okay, and right now it's around 9:30, so this is where we start getting some more volume, and we finally, where is it? Boom, right there, right? This is where I actually got out. Let me go back here. This is where I actually trimmed most of my position. I still had that same limit order at that 44.12.75. As we can see, I think we're about to hit it right now. Okay, we're at 412.50. Wait for it. Boom, just got filled there. As we can see, if we go back here, trim 4 positions at 44.12.75. So Now, basically, I just have one runner on, so I have 20% of my position remaining. So let's actually go back to the recording. And basically, I was just looking for a high day to trim this last position. So at this point, it was already almost 10 a.m. my time. I usually don't like trading past 10 a.m. That's usually when I go to the gym or do something else. So anyways, that's kind of what I was waiting for, was that last contract to hit the high day, and then I would basically just fully exit. So let's go and skip forward. We got a few more minutes on this recording. And as we can see, this is where it really started paying off. We hit, basically got really close to these highs. And then notice what happens here. We kind of just traded sideways. I was looking at NASDAQ right here, but let me keep going forward. We were literally trading sideways here for like 10 minutes. Kind of just got exhausting, and we started pulling back, and I believe this is where I actually got out of the trade. So I was like, okay, we're close to high day, close enough. I'm just going to take the trade off here. And that was it, right? As we can see, we ended up, that's where I ended the trade. So anyways, that was my trade recap. Like I said, I traded with around $1,000 portfolio. I believe I started the day with like 1,050. So anyways, if we go here, as we can see, my P&L, this is a live account, was 217. And now my portfolio is at around 1277. So overall, decent gain. So this should give you guys some perspective on how much you can actually make when you're trading with $1,000 portfolio, specifically trading futures. Like I said, I traded 5 contracts of the micro ES. So I recommend to have at least $200 for every contract that you trade for the micro ES. So that was a trade recap. Hopefully that was helpful for you guys to see that kind of stuff. If you want more videos like this where I record my trades and kind of narrate them, let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to make more of these. And also, if you're not in our Discord already, I'm going to leave a link below. Our community is completely free and open to the public. This is where I post my plans and my actual levels every single day, along with market updates. Plus, you also get a community that you can talk to. So anyways, if you do want to be a part of our community, like I said, that'll be the first link in the description below to join it for free. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and I will see you in my next video.